program. The beauty of what we're doing today is that instead of going for a short trip, we're going to stay.
We're inside the VAB at level 26, 274 feet up. And I can see behind us, right over to the right, the newly added crew access arm attached to this mobile launcher. I want everyone here to meet Cliff Lanham, the mobile launcher project manager. Cliff, can you explain the significance of adding that access arm?
Sure. The crew access arm is one of the last major modifications to the mobile launcher in preparation for SLS and Orion. It basically will be the very last place on Earth that the crew will be before they're in the spacecraft and headed to space. Now, the weight room provides a contamination-free environment up next to the spacecraft, and as you suspect, it's white. Hence the white room.
Makes sense. Now, how does the mobile launcher support the SLS rocket?
The mobile launcher provides fuel and power to the SLS and Orion. It's actually the stacking platform for the rocket. So there's a platform next to this 380-foot tower that the rocket is actually built next to, and then the umbilical arms attached to it to provide that fuel and power.
Wow. And so does the mobile launcher actually go all the way to the launch pad with the rocket?
It does, and the crawler transporter comes in, picks up the mobile launcher with the rocket, transports that entire thing out to the pad in preparation for the launch.
Wow. Oh, that is very impressive.
It is, and I hope everyone here today has a great time at Kennedy Space Center. Enjoy all the great exhibits, and come back soon.
All right, everybody, welcome to Launch Complex 39, LC 39. Real quick, out ahead of us, Black Tower, White Water Tower. I want to point it out before we lose it in our eyes. Look at the Black Tower. To the right of it, there is a black and white object laying horizontally. That is the rocket for tonight's launch. They are taking it up to the pad. They have not stood it up yet. Real quick, take a look to the right across the water. You will see the launch pads at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. To my immediate right, there are 4 towers. That is pad 40. That's where our last SpaceX launch was. You look to the left of that, you'll see 4 towers in an upside-down L structure. That's where the last launch was supposed to be. It was supposed to be an Atlas V with a government mission on it, a super secret satellite that spies on spy satellites, but it's in the building right now. Due to the hurricane, they moved it back. Looks like September 9th that will be launching. It is called the Silent Barker mission. Out ahead of us are our launch pads. LC-39 includes the VAB support buildings and 2 historic launch pads. Out ahead of us, Black Tower, White Water Tower is our 39A. Then to the left of that, as we turn, you'll see it better. Across the trees, you'll see 3 huge white-tipped towers with the mobile launcher, and that's 39B. We'll talk about those and get a better view shortly. Left side, you're going to see launch control. That's a white building with the dark windows. You heard about that in the video. All I'm going to tell you is that's a big building, but you don't realize it because perspective is completely lost here. The VAB is 52 stories, so you won't realize these are all large buildings. It's impossible. That's a huge building divided into 4 separate firing rooms. We use one of them for the Artemis missions. One is used for NASA's commercial crew, which is astronauts going to the International Space Station, and the other 2 are backups, just in case we run into problems. Take a look on our left. You're looking at the crawler way, that sea of gravel beside us. That's a 1-lane road, not 2. The crawler straddles that grass and fills that whole thing up the whole way through. Hard to imagine, but you can see the fresh tracks there. The crawler's an enormous, quite unique piece of equipment that, well, obviously warrants its own video.
NASA is known for dreaming big, and big dreams require big equipment. I'm standing next to the Crawler Transporter, the largest self-powered land vehicle in the world. It was originally built in 1965 for the Apollo program, and has since been updated to accommodate the space shuttle and now NASA's SLS rocket. Weighing in at 6 million pounds and capable of lifting and hauling 18 million pounds, the Crawler is an engineering marvel, even without a rocket sitting on top of it. This thing has 2,750 horsepower V16 diesel engines that can carry the Crawler up to a top speed of, wait for it, 1 mile per hour while carrying a rocket. Keep an eye out for the Crawler as we approach approach this area. And remember, we are visiting a working spaceport, so while the crawler may not stay in one area for very long, it's bound to be out here somewhere. Now, let me introduce you to my friend John Giles, the crawler project manager.
I'm standing in front of crawler transporter number 2 at the Kennedy Space Center. Crawler transporter number 2 will be used for the SLS program to take the launch vehicle back and forth to the pad. We will begin by going underneath the mobile launcher. We'll pick it up, we'll take it over to the VAB. They'll then assemble the launch vehicle on top of the mobile launcher, and then we'll come back to the VAB. We'll slide underneath it again, we'll pick it up, we'll take it out to the pad, the trip of about 4.2 miles. It'll take us about 7 hours to get there. But during our trip to the launch pad, we'll roll over a specially prepared crawler weight that consists of anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of special rock. Below that is limestone that's about 4 feet thick and compressed to hold the weight of the crawler and the mobile launcher. And then below that is some hydraulically compacted sand that can support all the weight. And then once we're there, we'll drop it all off. And then a few days later, there'll be a launch. We'll come back, we'll pick the mobile launcher up, and we'll bring it back to the VAB to start the process all over again.
With 50 years and some 3,000 kilometers or 2,000 miles on the clock, NASA expects the crawlers to be in operation for at least another 3 decades. How cool is that? The latest refurbishment is complete, and preparation is well underway for the first SLS mission. The crawler will be doing what it was originally designed to do once again, which is moving rockets.
All right, everybody, welcome to the crawler staging area on our left side. Yeah, we have 2 crawlers, crawler number 1 and crawler number 2. Crawler number 1's one on the far side of the building. Crawler number 2 is the one closest to us. Crawler 2 is the star of the show. That's the one featured in the video. And there's a reason for that. But first, let's realize where they came from. They were created as twins. That goes back to the Apollo era. That's what you're on your way to learn about. Able to carry twice their weight. Those machines weigh 6 million pounds, carry 12 million pounds. That was good all the way through the shuttle program. But with Artemis, we want to go to Mars, and that's a really long trip. You're talking about 1 year round trip, so you're going to want to take luggage, a lot of it. And they realized the crawler was the weak link to the program. Couldn't get the job done. So they had to pick one, and they chose this one right here. It took 2 years to modify that piece of equipment. It can now carry 3 times its weight, which is 18 million pounds. Super crawler, pretty much. Other than that, they're identical, about the size of a baseball infield, and they're slow. They are. That's why we call them crawlers. About a half a mile an hour, that's it. A little hard on fuel, as you would imagine. If you're looking for a number, I have it. It's 32 feet to the gallon of diesel fuel. That is it. But as I tell people, they are hybrids. We get some points for that somewhere. They're created like a train or locomotive. So the diesel engines that you heard about in the video actually make electricity. It's electricity that makes the crawlers go. Now when you look at crawler 1 over there, as we drive away, here's what you want to notice. Crawler 1, the tracks, the things on the ground are really rusty. I don't remember when it moved last. And there's still plywood on the windows on the side. That's from last year's hurricane season. What's up with that? I know. We don't know where crawler number 1's going to end up. As of now, it just sits there. We're hoping, as we grow as a multi-user spaceport, somebody adopts it, updates it like crawler 2. But for now, it just kind of sits there as a reminder to a day when, well, for us, 2 crawlers was better than 1. From here, we will make our way to the Saturn V center.